Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Royal LePage Binder Live. My name is Arms Bumanlag. Very happy to have you back on the show as we continue to talk to our realtors, our sales team right across Windsor, Essex, with all the different brokerages with Royal LePage Binder. And, we've been really highlighting our staff and the folks who make up Royal LePage Binder, what it is right across Windsor, Essex, and some of the great community work that they do, too. I think that's key when it comes to folks who are representing not only our brokerage, but not only buying and selling in Windsor, Essex, but really investing in the area. And one of the charities of choice from Royal LePage Binder is the Hiatus House, and the folks over there do some tremendous work. And from a national lens, the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation does some really amazing work. And you might remember back on the show a few months ago, we had a chance to chat with our guest on the program, who is back from what is, in my opinion, one of the coolest things you can ever do. She has really given herself an opportunity to experience something amazing. This past August, 66 adventurous Royal LePage Shelter Foundation agents and brokers right across the country, including our own very own realtor, Beth Rezoski, traveled to the Purcell Mountains near Golden, British Columbia, to trek in support of Canadian women and children seeking safety from domestic violence. The adventure was epic. Beautiful scenery, challenging themselves physically and mentally. And we're talking like 30 plus pounds of gear on their bike from campsite to campsite, turn off their cell phones for the duration of the hike. The adventure raised more than $750,000 for the cause. We are so proud to welcome our guest, Beth Rezoski, who is hopefully recovering from this epic journey. Beth, what's going on? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Arms. Thanks for having me back. I'm alive.
You're alive. Oh my God. Like Michelle sent some of the photos over and I'm like, okay, this was like really awesome. Like just to see what you experienced. And we got to go through this here because we are so proud of you and all the fellow trekkers for this.
Thanks.
You're like landing, you're like Survivor Woman, right? You're like landing in this area. So tell me, like you're dealing with some smoke too. That was pretty
There was a lot
wild
of
to see.
wildfires. It was like searing smoke in your lungs at times with the wildfires. But we were dropped off in a helicopter. We climbed, I think, 8,700 feet above, the world. We were in the alpine level, which is, I've learned, is above the treetops. When you're above the treetops, that's considered alpine level. So we trekked along the spines of mountaintops. The panoramic views were beautiful, but it was very, very hard. We nicknamed it Ken's Death March because the guy who came up with this trek, he spared no expense when it came to danger and difficulty. It was very, very technical, and no one had ever done this before. This wasn't a path or it wasn't a trail of any kind. It was just bushwhacking at times and boulders, and you were on this stuff called screet, which is like, it's like you're on a it's like you have your hiking shoes and you're like surfing down the mountain on broken plates, like dinner plates. That's literally what you're on. So it was quite an adventure. I'll say that. It definitely was very remote.
Yeah, but
no one had ever been around there. It wasn't like a hiked trail or anything like that.
But like, you're not getting those views here. As much as we both love this area, Windsor, Essex, I mean, you're not getting those views anywhere remotely near. I mean, it's like postcard quality. Like some of the photos that you sent over to the team, Beth, it was like, oh my gosh, like some of the views here, you've got the mountaintops. That must have been something seriously mind-blowing to be a part of.
I didn't worry about the height because you literally had to watch every single step. You had to watch where you're making your next step, or else you could like literally die. So you weren't out there just like gazing around, looking down or anything like that until you stopped. We had a lot of rest stops, so that was good.
And the views, like, my God, look at this photo. I mean, that's like postcard quality.
You know what? I just found a photo that someone took at night of the when you went out of your tent to go to the washroom. I had never seen stars like that in my life because you were hundreds of miles from any civilization. So there was no fake light anywhere. So the stars were amazing. It really was.
No, you're doing the hike. You've got all this equipment on your back. You guys are setting up shop to camp each night. How cold is it getting at night? And what is the nighttime experience like?
Well, you're laying there in a tent in a huge sleeping bag because it's below zero. You're in grizzly country. So you're literally laying there. I felt like a soft bear taco at times. So I'm thinking, what am I doing? It was pretty fun. God. And there was a lot of not sightings, but we saw a lot of bear fur on the trees, and they have these things called ground squirrels there. So there's these holes everywhere, and you're even your tent's on top of these holes because you can feel them. And beside these holes is like a scraped out, dug out hole where the grizzly had come and ate the ground squirrel. And then there's the big, droppings from the grizzlies. And on the last day, a grizzly actually charged our trekking guide. So that was pretty interesting. She had her cub with her, so I think that's what her upset.
Oh my gosh. Now, like, what's going through your mind as this is going on? I mean, are you like, okay?
Well, that was my biggest fear, is running into a bear. So we didn't see the bear. It came before, he was way ahead of everybody, which was, helpful. But just the whole experience was something I'll never forget. It was very, very, it was a memory I'll never forget.
We've got some comments coming in from some of our staffers here, including Michelle, saying, "Hi Beth, did you actually bathe in the streams?"
There was no bathing. There was no showers for the whole duration. So we were all stinky messes. It's like when you go out for dinner and everybody has garlic. Well, same thing. Nobody was bathing.
What's interesting about this too, and I was like reading the article, which is up on our website for folks to check out. I mean, what an incredible journey too, was the fact that this was a once in a lifetime experience. You were able to do this. You were able to do it with not only Royal LePagers right across the country, but you guys were doing it for just an amazing cause too.
Oh,
and
right.
What really kicked me off, Beth, was sort of the reason why you guys were doing it. I guess every morning you did something very meaningful to kind of talk about why you guys were there.
Yeah, that was very powerful. Every morning we read one letter every morning from a victim of domestic violence who was a shelter, victim who went into a shelter. And hearing their stories, Arms, is that's what made me, throw the backpack, 30 pounds of gear on the back and head out every morning. Because what we dealt with was nothing compared to what the victims of violence deal with. And what I didn't realize is now with social media, when these women post these things, I've met the man of my dreams, my knight in shining armor, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're embarrassed when things don't work out and they find out that the person is violent. And it brings it to a whole different level of what these women actually experience.
I'd imagine hearing those stories and having team members, Beth, read these various stories to the group. You've probably, I mean, as beautiful as was and crazy experience as it was in a good way, you read these stories at the end of the day where you might wake up in the morning and say, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But then you read these and then you're like, this is gas in the tank. Like, there's a reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, you said it perfectly right there. That's exactly what it was. There was times when you would there was a lot of breaking points. A lot of people had like mini breakdowns. At one point, the guide said, okay, we were traveling for 11 hours that day. We all ran out of water, so we were drinking out of glacier streams and 1,000-year-old glaciers, which was really cool too. But the fact that we were exhausted. We were about 9 hours in, and one of the trekkers said, how much further? And they said, well, right after this incline and decline, that's our camp. Well, how long will that take? Probably 2 to 3 more hours. So there was a lot of those times where you thought this is crazy. This is just crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think if you have the support of like not only the folks that are there, but you have the support of the folks back home. I know we were at the Hiatus House AGM a few weeks back, and some of the staff there were looking so forward to hearing your story, because the funding that these type of events provide, not only on a national level, but certainly from a local level, they really go to make significant change and impact, especially for folks who utilize our local shelter, which is the Hiatus House too.
Yeah.
So,
and the neat thing is all the money goes to the local shelter that trekker, that city they're from, and 20% of it goes to violence prevention with the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation. Royal LePage pays for all the underwriting of this foundation, so there's no administration costs. When someone donates $5, $5 goes to the shelter.
That's awesome stuff. Now, like, are you, when you were done and you're on your way back to Windsor, are you like, I'm doing this again?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
No lie. That's how crazy I am. I'm actually going at the end of October back to BC to hike some more with my nephew. So that's just for fun, but it'll be on a trail where like actual humans have been, so it'll be a little bit safer.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is the one thing, Beth, when you're in the middle of the wilderness and you're experiencing this, what's one thing that resonated with you, I guess, emotionally and maybe mentally,
Well,
as you're kind of taking in the
yeah.
views?
There's so much. There was so much. It was just almost like a system overload of what you felt out there. And the one thing I got hurt on one day on day 3, and I was coming down a hill, and they could see that I was walking funny. So a bunch of the women from Royal LePage that are agents in different cities and different provinces started pulling things out of my backpack so that I would have a lighter load.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comments in the live stream. Hiatus House is joining in, and she goes, "I'm so very thankful for this amazing effort." And Beth, the difference of donations will make it to
Yeah.
the shelter. So
Yeah. So
that's got to be nice to hear too, that the
really,
fundraising staff are at least very grateful for what you guys have done and continue to do.
yeah. So in total, we raised over $750,000 at this trek. This is our 4th trek. We do it biannually. They've raised about $3 million so far to date. So we raised, and that was really good. 750, $750,000. So we were happy with that. It was raised quickly because we didn't know if we were going to be going on the trek because of COVID and whatnot.
COVID.
So it was put together pretty quickly, and I was really happy with the results. And half the people that usually participated this year, and it was by far the hardest trek of all.
What's one piece of equipment that you thought you should have, if you do this again, like say if you go with your family, like what's one piece you're like, you know what, maybe I should bring this next time?
I was pretty prepared. I was proud of myself. I was looking up, but this is how dumb I am. I'm looking up the climate or the weather report for Golden, BC. Well, Golden, BC is down here, and where we were is up here. So it was saying it was going to be 90 degrees. And I'm like, do you really think I need this down-filled sleeping bag and these long johns and things like that? Well, thank God I didn't take them out of my backpack because I needed them big time. And I even took off my down-filled coat and would lay it between my sleeping bag and the sleeping pad because the ground was ice cold. We had ice in the streams that we were crossing. It was cold.
I just, again, if people who are watching the live stream here, or if they're watching this after the fact, or listening to soon to be our podcast for Royal LePage will be up and running, you got to check out the link to the video. It's pretty epic to see what Beth experienced. It's also available part of our news article on RoyalLePageBinder.com. So, I mean, any parting words for some of the Royal LePagers who are watching this and saying, "Hey, this is something cool."
You have to do something that, being in this business, it's great, and it's, you achieve a lot and you get praised, but being a part of something that's bigger than yourself like this is the greatest thing about being in this business. So if you even have a tiny little inkling of doing the trek in a couple of years from now, I highly recommend that you do it. It's for a great cause. And people were so generous. I was floored knowing what people have gone through in the struggles with this COVID. I was floored at the donations that came in for me, and I'm very, very grateful to everyone who donated. Thank you.
And on behalf of the brokerage too, again, thank you, Beth, to you and all the trekkers. You guys are such an inspiration. So, and I got to say thank you too from another hat that I wear from the Humane Society lens. I know that you just got back, but I know that you're a dog lover and you're a golfer too. So you'll be joining me on the course tomorrow at Sutton Creek for our Putts for Paws.
I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a blast, and I hope to recruit more people for you next year.
Oh, God bless you. You're just a pleasure to talk to, and such a strong woman, and such an amazing individual to give to an amazing cause too. So thank you for your time. And I tell you, I would probably be crying like a 2-year-old as soon as they drop me off. I'd be like, somebody pick me up. The bears are going to eat me. I'm done.
I had a few whimpers. I'm not going to lie.
But it was awesome. And I really encourage folks to check out the video if you really want to see some incredible views for an incredible cause.
Videos out on the Royal LePage website, and they're phenomenal. Thanks to the people who took the videos and had drones with them and carried all that equipment also, which is pretty amazing.
It's awesome stuff. Beth, we'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it as always, my friend.
See you tomorrow.
See ya. Thank you so much. Beth Rezoski, who is part of our team at Royal LePage Binder Real Estate, just an amazing lady who does some incredible things. And the Purcell Mountains Challenge for shelter, specifically Hiatus House here in Windsor, Essex, wrapping up. And again, that YouTube video is up and running. You can also read more on Beth's experience. Just an incredible thing to see. It's up on our website. Check it out for yourself, royallepagebinder.com. So this is a bi-weekly chat with some of our sales representatives and realtors right across our brokerages here in YQG. Make sure to check out our website for all the latest real estate news and more. Again, that website, easy to find, royallepagebinder.com. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. We'll see you back in the next little bit. This has been another edition of Royal LePage Binder Live. And make sure to follow us on Facebook too, and follow along for the latest in the real estate market here in Windsor, Essex.